environmentalists and mindset changers. We're in Livingstone today, and we're talking to Pretty Mbaiwa from CATS, which is Conservation and Tourism Society. Welcome to the interview, Pretty.
Thank you so much, Mr. Perry, for having me today. I'm excited for this interview.
Most welcome. So, Pretty, to get started, could you give us a bit of a background to CATS? When
Okay,
exactly was it established, and what work does it do?
okay. So, CATS, the Conservation and Tourism Society, it was established in 2018. So, when it was established, our main focus was on community education in conservation. So, this is where we were going into schools, trying to educate children on the importance of conservation and also the importance of keeping the environment clean in order to promote environmental sustainability. But ongoing, we came across this problem that is usually faced, probably widely known in Zambia to say, in Livingstone, there's human-wildlife conflict, and to be specific, human-elephant conflict. So with doing that, we came up with various projects in order to help mitigate human-elephant conflict. So we are doing many projects that are trying to promote conservation and also tourism of Zambia. So one of the projects that we have under the Conservation and Tourism Society, we have SET. So SET simply means Conservation Elephant Response Team. So this is where we have a professional team that usually go into communities, um, in order to prevent elephants in going into the communities. So mostly we have this team that is usually on standby 24/7, and we have distributed our emergency line to different communities within Livingstone. So we encourage communities to say if you see an elephant coming into your garden, or maybe if you see an elephant coming to your home, instead of you chasing it using not so good practices, it's better you call our emergency line, and within 10 to 15 minutes, our team will be right there to mitigate that human elephant conflict. So they'll protect the humans and they'll also protect the elephants. They'll direct it to where it's supposed to be, and also tell the communities to say do not get scared, just to make them relax and not to panic. So basically, that's one of the projects that cats do. Then we also have community conservation education. So we have a set of volunteer teachers that go around in school to educate children on conservation, the importance of coexistence with wildlife, as well as the importance of how wildlife makes Zambia a tourism country. So you find that for these volunteer teachers, we have specific lessons that we have designed as CATS, that they go and teach people, teach communities, teach children in schools, as it is the children are the future generations, and they need to know the importance about wildlife conservation. They need to be active participants in protecting the wildlife and also trying to achieve environmental sustainability.
Okay, thank you for giving us that background. So, just to go a little further into the topic,
Hmm.
when you look at Livingston, it's a city and it's a big city.
Yeah.
Do you, as CATS, have the capacity to cover all the communities in Livingston? And in connection to that, are you collaborating with other organizations? Do you work with DNPW, for example?
Okay. I love the fact that you've mentioned that Livingstone is a big city. So because it's big, we cannot manage to be everywhere. So currently, the communities that we are focusing on, or that we have been focusing on, is the Zambezi ward and also surrounding communities just near the Dambwa area. So you'll find that this is not only the community that is affected by human elephant wildlife. We also have Mukuni. The project that we are currently having in Zambezi ward and Dambwa, Linda, North Road or Maramba, it's currently being funded by WCP. So which means in places like
WCP being
wildlife crime prevention.
okay.
Yeah. So you find that we have other places. Currently, we have extended our SET program, the Conservation Elephant Response Team, to Mukoni with the help of the funding from WWF. So that means with the coming in of funding or with the coming in of other partners coming to help us in trying to mitigate human elephant conflict, then we are able to extend. But as at now, we cannot manage to cover the whole lot of Livingstone. We are only limited to what we can manage and what our manpower can afford. And that is why you find that sometimes we have challenges where we we are trying to mitigate. We have received a phone call, for example, from airport, but someone again has called from Dambwa. So you find there will be that challenge because even our manpower, it's Conservation and Tourism Society is still an emerging, it's still developing, it's still an organization that is trying to be big. So hopefully in the near future, we hope that we'll have maybe a lot more of vehicles, a lot more of manpower so that we can have specific vehicles that can be stationed in different communities that can be on the standby 24/7 in helping to specifically mitigate human wildlife conflicts for a specific community. So we are currently also working with DNPW. So cats, what we do sometimes every Wednesdays, we go into the Mosotunya National Park where we go and remove some snare wires. So these snare wires are usually set up by poachers. So if you talk about snare wires, poachers are going to the Mosotunya National Park. It's one of the smallest parks in Zambia. So you'll find that it's easily prone to poachers. So even the snares that we go to remove in the Mosotunya National Park, you find that sometimes we are able to remove up to 50 snares in a day, sometimes even 20 snares in a day. But we cannot do that alone. We have to work with DNPW, and they have been very helpful in giving us scouts to escort us in the Mosotunya National Park and remove the snare wires.
So just to understand your capacity a little bit more, how
Mhm.
many vehicles do you have?
So currently we only have one that has been that has that was donated by Wildlife Crime Prevention.
Okay. How many members of staff and volunteers do you have?
So we have seven in total, plus one operations manager, and also the board that help us in the running of our daily activities and planning.
Okay. Uh, Switching to another topic. Uh, just a few weeks ago, we saw a post
Hmm.
online
Yeah,
of elephants eating plastics, and I believe it's from the dump site in Damwa.
yeah.
What are you as cats doing to try and help sort out that particular problem? Because
Okay.
the dump site is illegal, it's not an official dump site, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you talk about waste management, illegal disposing of waste by communities, I have a soft spot for that. So in Livingstone, Livingstone is also a place, or maybe the city is clean itself, the town area is clean, but when you come to communities like the Zambezi ward and also the places along FRA, you find that people will go there to dump their waste. So with that, even elephants, I can tell you, TK, that almost every night amongst our hot zones areas, elephants don't miss to be at the illegal dumping sites every day in the night, especially areas along the FRA. So elephants are attracted to the shima that people throw on those rubbish. So you find that in search for food, maybe there's a shima in a plastic, an elephant will go there and try to eat it. But that is what we are trying to educate communities to say. Instead of disposing your waste in such a manner, you can actually do this and you save wildlife because it has a lot of benefits. So what we have tried to do is that on World Cleanup Day, we gathered ourselves and also we partnered with the Dambwa Warriors. I'll talk about who the Dambwa Warriors are later. So we partnered with the Damba warriors, and we collected some plastic bottles, stuffed in some plastics, and just from the same illegal dumping site, and built up what we are calling an eco bin. So if you go that area, if you have time, you can pass through, just see what we
We
did.
will.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so you can pass through and see how we built. It's not so long or so high, but we are still under constructing it, and we are hoping that we can put up at least four in the same area, so that instead of people just throwing it down on the ground, at least they can throw it in the eco bin, and cats once in a while can go and collect that rubbish and dispose it off where it's supposed to be.
Okay. So just give us a little bit more information about the Damba warriors. Who are they?
Okay. So at the Dumbo Warriors, this is a group of about 400 registered children. So with this group, how we came about with this group, it's a group of children, by the way. So how we came about with this group is that one day our set team was carrying out night patrols. So these night patrols, this is where they are going in communities, trying to see if elephants are going to go into the community and preventing them. Then we noticed that there was this group of children just near what we are calling the Dambwa Lagoons, or the sewer ponds. So this place, it's just located right next to the Mosotunya National Park, and it has an outlet. Like, communities have put down the wire fence, and elephants, wildlife, sometimes they come out from the park, going to the ponds in search of the cabbages that are found in the ponds. So you'll find that every day around 16 hours, these children strategically would go there and shout. And whenever they see an elephant coming out from the park, they shout, "Wule, wule," and that would stun them. And also, they kind of formed little gangs. You know, the way we have Chivolia, the way we've labeled Chivolia, to say Chivolia is
A terrible place.
yeah,
Full of crime.
yeah, and they are thugs, they are guns, they are, that's the same place. That was the case with that, where we say the children formed little gangs to say, for you to join this gang, you needed to touch the elephant. As terrible, as traumatizing as it may be, because this is a wild elephant that these children were touching. So if you touch the elephant, then you join their gang. So you find that we thought that this is not only disadvantaging the elephants, but also the children, because this can cause death. So what we did is, we knew that the children would go there around 16 hours. So we strategically started going there around 16 hours. It was not easy at first, because they said, "Ah, Imwe, what can you tell us? Vinyama vitima visovelesa," you know, that kind of response. But we would go there, leave maybe our vehicle 3 meters away, so that they should not know that we are coming from cats, and they should not be afraid to talk to us. Then we befriended them. We made them our friends. After making them our friends, then we started engaging them in various activities. So if you look at the Damba warriors, we also have the Zambezi ward. We have a high rate of early pregnancies. So mostly, it was also discovered that the children that go to the sewer ponds, other teens, those that are reaching puberty, would go there and wait for young boys or men just to come, and maybe that's their meeting point area, like the way we had lovers lane at Uza. Yeah, so you find that with that, we started going there just to educate them on conservation education, and also just to engage them in the general children's play activities, like football, netball, teaching them how to make reusable pads, and also just to teach them about the general way of life, menstrual hygiene, early pregnancies, and so on.
Okay. In relation to the illegal dump site,
Yeah.
we know there is Livingstone City Council.
Mm-hmm.
Is it involved in trying to solve this problem?
Okay.
Is the council involved in trying to solve this problem? Because they are the key stakeholder when it comes to that particular issue.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say maybe they are 60% involved, but also maybe they also lack some resources
Mm,
because as it is, Livingstone, as you mentioned earlier, is a big city, but that is not an excuse to say maybe this is the reason why they should not be collecting waste. But I can encourage them to say they need to pull up their socks, see where illegal dumping areas and also create a relationship with the community. Like what we have done, we have what we call the CBU, Community Business Unit. So this the Community Business Unit is a group of different community volunteers that have come together in order to help promote domestic tourism. By doing so, we have also involved them in recycling. So this is where we have encouraged them to say, okay, you go into the communities, collect the waste, plastic bottles, anything that is recyclable, and then try and sell it to masters. So we have connected them to waste masters. So
mm,
as they collect that waste, they'll actually be seeing the value in it.
mm,
So a Livingstone City Council also needs to pull up their socks. They need to on the works that they are currently doing. They also need to see how they can create a direct relationship with the community members. Not to say that they are not doing anything, but also maybe they lack manpower. But communities can also help in helping them carry out their mandate.
okay. So, in conclusion, you know, everyone out there is very concerned about the human animal conflict in Livingston,
Yeah.
especially the conflict between us, the humans, and the elephants.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like you to talk to every Zambian out there.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of help does Livingston need to sort out this problem once and for all? As
Okay.
cats, what do you think Livingston needs as help so that we solve this problem once and for all?
Okay. So that one I'm going to say it as pretty and not as cats.
Okay, we can go with pretty.
Okay, thank you. So I really feel that we need to discourage the killing of the so-called problem elephants. So you'll find that community members now will put pressure on DNPW to say, no, there's an elephant in our community that is causing havoc. But without gathering much information, maybe without the communities understanding what a problem elephant also, and because of the pressure that is usually put on these relevant authorities, you find that maybe they are tempted to put it down. And the main reason of them doing so is maybe the communities, the pressure that they're putting on. It's not that they even want that problem elephant to be eliminated, but they want the meat that is coming out of that elephant. So you find that I would suggest that if there can be laws, policies that can be put up, okay, uh, what is the definition of a problem elephant? What procedures are needed? Who is supposed to put down a problem elephant? And in what period? Because if you talk about elephants, almost every hour an elephant is killed in each country worldwide. So if you look at the rate at which these um, elephants are being killed in the near future, I'm scared to say that we might not have any elephants. So I feel like even when this so-called problem elephant is put down, at least the meat should not be given to community members. It should be burnt instantly. This will discourage the people. They'll say, even if we report that this is a problem elephant, we won't get anything. But if community members know that, okay, if we report to Zawa, that if we report to DNPW that this is a problem elephant, if they put it down, then it's meat for us. So it will make them have that mindset to say whenever an elephant is put up, then it's free meat for us. And also, I would like to encourage tour operators, especially those operating within Livingstone. The people within Livingstone have developed so much hatred for wildlife because they do not know the importance of wildlife. Tour operators have come into our country, they are making huge sums of money, but they are not giving back to the communities. of which there is need for tour operators, any business that they're doing, in order to help give back to the community so that they should see the benefit of having this wildlife. TK, you're not going to tell someone to say, no, you conserve an elephant when there's nothing that you're benefiting from it. But if you say, okay, you people, you need to conserve wildlife, but because wildlife will bring about employment, and they're seeing it, maybe one member from their family is employed. Not you're just preaching about no conserve wildlife, conserve wildlife. When the only stories that communities have is elephants killing people, elephants eating their food in their gardens. So there should be a relationship between people that are making money from the tourism sector in Zambia, especially Livingstone, with the vulnerable communities. This will help in creating that bond. People will learn to appreciate wildlife more.
So, in summary, what you're saying is the communities should benefit from these natural resources
Yes,
because if they don't benefit, it will be hard for them to be part of the process of protecting them.
yes.
Okay. Pretty, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a great interview we've had with you, and it's nice to know about what CATS is doing in Livingstone. We look forward to seeing more of what's going on with CATS today.
Thank you so much, Mizu Ekokea, for visiting the Conservation and Tourism Society. We are happy that you actually came to find out about what the projects of CAT are. So thank you so much, and we hope in seeing you people covering more on conservation stories Zambia wide. Thank you.
Most welcome, and thank you too. So, fellow environmentalists and conservationists, this is the data we've gotten from Pretty and CATS. Stay tuned as we continue to talk to different stakeholders in